Here's some stretches as a lineman that I think you absolutely should not miss before practices or games. They stop me from pulling my groin, and I just wanted to share them with you. So the first one, like a lunge, you take a step out. You see I've got 90 degree angles in my knees, and I'm just sinking my hips forward. I'm keeping my back straight because I'm going to stretch my hip flexors. Now your hip flexors are attached to your hips. So if you come down and you bend down with your knee, your hips are staying tilted forwards. The only way we're going to get this stretch is if our hips stay upwards, and your hips stay upwards with your spine. So you sink forwards, nice straight back, hips are up. All I'm doing is sinking my hips into my knee. I'll maybe rest my hands here and hold that, stretch, switch legs. The next stretch is a glute stretch. So you take one knee, you bring it up and around just like this. The other leg goes back. This is now going to be stretching in the glute of the leg that is forward. So what you're going to do, you might actually already feel the stretch like this. You could just hold it like this if it's really tight. Or bring yourself down to the ground like this and just relax and breathe through it. The glutes are a really tough muscle to relax, and they're not going to stretch or loosen if you're keeping them contracted to hold yourself in that pose. So you really have to breathe and let them relax. As soon as I started doing these glute stretches, I definitely noticed my flexibility went up. The next one, guys, is not so much a stretch, but it helps you loosen your hips. So you take one leg forward, kind of like that last glute stretch. You have your one leg forward. I like to grab it with my hand. I open it up as much as I can. So until you feel discomfort, right? It might feel a little uncomfortable, but it should never hurt. And you grab this foot and you just rock back and forth with your hips, just like this. So from a different angle, it's like this, around. I grab the foot and I rock back and forth. Just little movements. Again, you're not holding it at any point to stretch. You're just loosening up your hips. Because your hips act as a ball and socket joint, right? And sometimes a lot of tissue builds up in there. What this stretch will do for your hips is it gets that bone inside the joint moving around like this. You don't have built up tissue in there that stops your hips from moving the way they're supposed to. If they're not moving the way they're supposed to, you're probably going to pull your hip flexor. The last stretch is pretty obvious, but you pull your feet in like this. You're going to feel the stretch all the way down the inside of your legs. You can grab your feet, which sometimes I do if I want more of a stretch. I take my elbows, I push my knees down a little bit, then you just hold it and breathe through that. Those are my 4 must-have stretches for myself with football. It can be applied to you in really any kind of athletics. I just come from a football background and football experience, so I offer my experiences to you, right? Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos. Claw Snakes out.